right, welcome back, guys. We have a lot of fun stuff to go over, and this time it won't be so depressing. As you know, last night we had the debate for governor of California, where it was two Republicans against other people who are clinically insane. So we have a couple clips from that, starting with Steve Hilton, who I'll be voting for.
Mr. Hilton, go ahead.
It's not Donald Trump who's given us gas prices $2 higher than the rest of the country. It's Democrat policies, which Antonia and all the Democrats here support. It's not Donald Trump that's given us the highest housing costs in the country. It's Democrat policies that all these Democrats support. Donald Trump is the president in all the other states of America where the cost of living is way lower than in California. Obviously, it is way past time for change in California, and endlessly going on about Donald Trump doesn't serve the needs of the struggling families and small businesses.
Can you say whether or not...
Okay, so what he's explaining there is the fact that Democrats like to blame Donald Trump for high gas prices. Meanwhile, you go over one state and it's $9 here and it's $2 there. It's an easy cop-out because they don't want to admit that the gas prices are high because of failed policies. And Gavin Newsom specifically, I have a Tesla right now. I'm telling you, I would like to get rid of it because it makes me not feel great, makes me nauseous and gives me migraines. But when I see that gas is $9, I'm starting to rethink if the migraines may be worth it. I don't know how an average person who has to drive to work right now is spending this much money. That's like you at this point you need a second job. But yeah, once again, they're talking about who's going to be governor of California and they're blaming Donald Trump because they don't really have much else.
ICE needs to get the out of California. My name is Maybe. I'm running for state senate in the heart of Los Angeles and East LA, and I will fight for human rights in the state legislature. I've been working with people experiencing homelessness for over a decade, volunteering at shelters, being the homelessness liaison for the neighborhood council, and now being the operations manager for the Neighborhood Homeless Coalition. I'm fighting to make California affordable, safe, and inclusive for all. Tuition-free college, healthcare for all, housing for all, renters' rights. We can have all of these things. We deserve all of these things. We're going up against some powerful special interest groups in this race, including the landlord lobby, fossil fuel companies, and even the leaders of AIPAC. This campaign only takes money from individuals, the people that we are going to be elected to represent, not foreign interest groups, not lobbyists, not corporate, anything. California has never had a trans or non-binary legislator, and that is far past time to change. Please donate to this campaign for human rights, justice, and equity today. Let's keep fascism out of California together.
Good. With everything going so well here. We need a trans socialist because that's what they run on. They run on they want everything for free. They want to go after the big guys. I don't understand this whole thing of like, we need to make it inclusive. Well, we unfortunately have. That's why you're able to run. And I don't think we need to make it more inclusive for mentally ill individuals, which is what drag queens are. Drag kings, technically, because they are men. But I'm like, I think we're good with the inclusiveness. But yes, this person's going to do great. They're trans. They're broke. They probably live in, I don't know, whatever part of downtown. They're running on everything for free. Even though, are we not seeing with Mamdani in New York how he ran for everything's going to be free? And then he's like, we don't really have any money and things aren't going really well. Same with Karen Bass here. She's like, what, a communist socialist? And she's like, hey, so the homeless people stole all the copper wiring and now you guys have to pay to keep the lights on. And you're like, well, things are going really well with all these people. So yeah, that's the next person running for how to destroy California. So great. We have Katie Porter, the nuts woman. We have her at the governor debate.
I'm Katie Porter, and I'm not like most people who run for governor. I actually get what you're going through. A single mom of 3 kids, I know what it's like to push the shopping cart. My minivan has almost 200,000 miles. I have a grown kid who may soon be living on my couch. To give Californians what they need, it's going to take standing up to Donald Trump, calling out greedy corporations, and stepping on some toes along the way. Now, could you guys please get out of my shot?
Okay. I'm so over it. Okay, so if you guys don't know, the whole scandal with her was she was, oh, well, first of all, I don't know if single mom is like really the winning platform. Your husband left you because you assaulted him and you threw scolding hot, I believe, coffee, mashed potatoes on him. And then she was caught in the previous clip we had covered yelling at a woman that works for her to get the out of her shot.
For pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my shot.
So she went and took a scandal and then thought she ate with it in her campaign video, when really now you're just making jokes about violently yelling at your staff members. So that was a complete fail. We have the worst options here. So for it. Katie Porter, guys. And you know what? She did go on Ozempic, and I believe, and somehow she looks even worse losing weight, which is shocking. We have Philadelphia teen. Okay, well, this is, you'll see.
Read the end script.
What the does that say? Why am I reading this? No, I'm not reading this. This is a whole bunch of bullshit.
The colonel asked the choir to accommodate the governor's schedule.
What does that mean?
He's asking the choir to accommodate to the governor's schedule, right?
Yeah, in your own words.
There's a governor's schedule, and so the colonel is asking the choir to accommodate to it.
In your own words.
I don't know, bro.
The colonel asked the choir to accommodate the governor's schedule.
All right, what does that mean?
Right? They asked the people to sing for the governor's schedule. I don't know what this means.
The colonel asked the choir to accommodate the governor's schedule.
What does that mean?
He asked the choir to accommodate. I don't know, bro. It means he asked them to read the schedule. So, like, I mean.
The colonel asked the choir to accommodate the governor's schedule.
What does that mean?
To sing with the governor.
Well, there's our future doctors and lawyers in the inner city schools, as we call them. I don't know. Here, this one's better.
Read the end script for me.
She wore a.
There we go. This is the one.
Clothes that were.
Yep.
Who's this for? Extraordinary, but somewhat Gertrude?
Now explain what that means.
I don't know.
Oh!
She wore a sahalat of clothes that were extraordinary, whatever, bro, but somewhat gooch.
What does that mean?
She wore a lot. Wait, she wore. Bro, I don't know, bro. Can you take the card back, please?
She wore a. Oh, baby. She wore a silhouette of clothes that were. Bitch, I don't know that word. I don't even know how to read. I don't know why I did
At least she admits she doesn't know how to read.
Clothes that were extraordinary, but somewhat gauche.
All right, now what does that mean?
I have no idea. Like his clothes is nice as something like. She wore a. I don't know what this should say. I don't know what this should say. I don't know what this should say.
Well,
Can't read it. Can't read it. Can't read it.
I'm sure more money to schools will solve that. I'm sure it's definitely. I mean, I'm sure they know about, the girls had their hair done. They know about hair. They got their designer, whatever clothes on. I'm just like, you got the kids. How many times have I said on the show, like, the kids can't read? And I've seen, so those videos went viral because they're literally retarded and can't read. And you know what's weird is they're laughing. They're not even ashamed about it. Do you remember in school when you had to do like popcorn reading? And you'd be embarrassed. You'd be embarrassed if you were not great at reading, and you'd have to do it in front of people. But the thing is, like, at least that would make you try because you were embarrassed because you had to read around a bunch of people. I don't even think that's a thing now, because we have to be like, everyone has to be equal. We can't shame anyone. We can't everyone gets a participation trophy. So I've seen a bunch of like left-leaning people reacting on TikTok, and they were like, dude, our teachers were so gnarly because it used to be embarrassing to be stupid and to not know how to read. And, when we would pronounce things wrong, kids would laugh, and I'd be like, okay, well, I'm not going to pronounce it wrong because now I'm like thoroughly embarrassed. But they were saying that the teacher used to like organize it so like the dumbest shit kids were in the back that couldn't read and the smarter kids were in the front. And I was like, are you starting to notice that when we operate at the speed of like the slowest person and we don't have shame and we don't have standards in society, like what job are these kids gonna have if you can't even read? Are they gonna become doctors and lawyers? No, that's why I'm like, I don't think what we've done with the public schools is a very good thing. But then if you call this out, the first thing they do is say, what do they say? They say you're racist. And you're like, okay, well, regardless if I'm racist or not, they can't read and they're really stupid. So this is an issue. We'll just say that. We have where are we at? Oh, Somali activists in Minneapolis.
Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice, lead program, fit into our criteria of small business owners, not those who make 200,000 and above. We don't make that much money. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to fix.
Oh, they demand.
Families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives.
Who's dying?
The community.
First of all, which Somalians are dying defending the Somalian community? There's so many. There's a lot to this. We got to get through these fast. First of all, why do they all look like that? They are all so terrifying looking. It's unbelievable. They all look like the meme of like, how'd you know I'm Somalian? Second of all, she's like, well, ever since ICE came in. Okay, so ICE's job is to get dangerous, like illegal immigrants out of our country. So if ICE is impacting your community needs to go the back to where it came from. I thought we were focusing on people potentially going back to Mexico, but we should focus a lot more on the Somalians. Also, so you come here, you defraud Americans, and now they literally want Somali reparations because they've been affected by us investigating their evil and also fraudulent behavior. So that's where we're at with these Somalians in America. They now want reparations for being targeted. That's why I'm like, can we do something about the Somalian fraud? And can we actively start deporting these people? So also we need them out of our country ASAP so they stop reproducing, because that's what they do. But that woman's looks like we pulled her out of a casket. We have Karen Bass being Karen Bass.
Well, Christine, there's more than 450 of these signs now posted across the city. Just take a look at this one. Some people like them while the feds call them politics.
There goes the sign right there.
A bold message now posted across Los Angeles. Signs going up declaring city property off limits for ICE.
The signs have no legal weight, force, or effect on anything the federal government does.
Federal authorities firing back, saying the words are just that.
Federal agents will go anywhere they need to go to enforce federal law, city property included.
At Lafayette Park, most people say they didn't notice the sign, but support the idea.
The people's families out here, dude, and
oh God.
That's not right, man.
The message from LA.
Intelligent.
No immigration enforcement, no staging, processing, or operations at parks. Speaking with the federal government, they say that the sign doesn't really do anything for them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
More than 450 of these signs now posted at parking lots, libraries, the LA Zoo.
Getting ready to leave.
Why would ICE be at the zoo?
Or last summer, Mayor Karen Bass asked Border Patrol agents to leave during an operation.
My comment is they need to leave, and they need to leave right now.
Oh, God.
How much these signs cost taxpayers and never heard back. But based on industry estimates, one sign and installation could run about $500, bringing the total to around $250,000.
Executive Directive.
Nice.
Bass issued Executive Directive 17 for these signs earlier this year, now telling Fox 11, I will not stand by while federal agents use our neighborhoods as state.
Yeah. So she used $250,000 of our taxpayer dollars, which obviously you could have hired she loves illegals. You could have hired an illegal to go put up 500 of those signs in a couple hours, and you could have paid him like $1,000. So I don't know where the other 249,000 went. Obviously money laundering and kickbacks to everyone involved with this. So I'm like, wait, you're telling me this career politician who's been serving for how long doesn't realize at the level she's at, you don't just get to like call the shots. And also interfering with ICE, is that not a federal crime as well? But I'm like, so she doesn't understand how laws work. And the fact that those are completely useless. So $250,000, guys, could have been used to, I don't know, fix the potholes that are blowing out our tires. They used so she could go feel good and look good about putting anti-ICE signs around LA, which don't actually do anything. I every time I see people on Threads, because it's the mentally ill pedophile app, they keep saying how great Karen Bass is, but I keep asking for accomplishments, because we can list the fraud for 15 days in the studio, but no one can really acknowledge like, oh, what she's done something really good. Like, there's no proof of that. This is just more just pissing away. We're broke, but we just love to piss away money. I mean, I could have done that job for $1,000. We have Nithya Raman at the mayoral candidate.
The most painful crisis facing Los Angeles right now is homelessness. It's the reason I first decided to run for office.
It's the taxes.
Young children, we're seeing the crisis on the streets every day. It's not okay for anyone to be sleeping on the sidewalk in the world's richest country. But this is not inevitable. We can fix it. We all know that what we're doing right now is just not working. LA's primary strategy for homelessness has been to move encampments from one block to another, from your block to your neighbor's block, and back again. It's an incredible
Is that the strategy we've had?
Of sidewalk shuffle, and it is just not a solution. It's political theater. In my district, we chose a different path. When I took office, there were huge encampments all over my district. One by one, person by person, we were able to get people.
We moved them to another district.
Disappeared. We focused resources on sensitive areas, parks, schools, so that all of us could use public spaces safely. And it's been working. We've seen a 54% reduction in my district.
Who believes that? Who believes 54% reduction in tents and encampments? They're everywhere. They're in Beverly Hills. There's no way. Well, I was walking in WeHo today, and it was like earlier, and there's just like a guy sleeping in front of one of these like designer stores. You know, they probably make him move when he gets up. I'm like, if you ask anyone in Los Angeles, hey, have you guys noticed more than half reduction in tents and encampments? Everyone would be like, no, I haven't. I'm stepping over someone right now to walk over you to answer this. That's not. They just get to lie, though. They're never, they're never pressed on these things. They don't actually have to show these things. Also, she's like, it hasn't worked that we move them around. And I'm like, wait, so you admit that all you've done has you've moved them from one place to another place. So you take one area that's shitty and then you make another area shitty. And she's like, it's not working. I'm like, but these are your policies. This is your guys' things. Republicans are like, hey, go into a sober house or go to jail. Because those actually are the only two options that work. It's worked pretty well in Orange County. I'm sure there's a couple homeless people, but it doesn't work here. Also, the same woman that was like, it's fine to have encampments in front of like kids at school. So she's completely flip-flopping on all this. And now her and Bass are going after each other, which I love because I love when they eat each other. But yeah, that's enough of this. Enough of the lies. We have Spencer Pratt blasting Karen Bass.
I'd love your reaction to Karen Bass, who says you're exploiting the grief of people in the Palisades.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Karen Bass forgot that she let my house burn down and my parents' house burn down. And I had actual neighbors burn alive across the street from my childhood home. The only grief is my grief, my community's grief that I initially started this fight on behalf of. And she forgets I have received 2 community advocate awards from the Pacific Palisades community. So it's the most insane, psycho, diabolical thing I've heard in a minute, but it's not shocking. This is the same woman that will allow 7,000 houses to burn to the ground, 12 people to burn alive, and then actively cover it up, get caught covering it up, and then say that the LA Times is lying, even though they have the emails where she's altering the after action report, which, as far as I'm concerned, is obstruction of justice. So it's disgusting. It's disgusting. The fact that she's.
I love that I love that he had him and his family's home burned down, and she's like, typical victim here in Los Angeles. I'm like, that because that's what she did. That's what she said to him. And she's like, oh, he's exploiting grief. And I'm like, but it's his grief. He's not like exploiting someone else's. You actually technically are by responding to him in this way. So good thing people are kind of starting to open up a little bit because she got major backlash from that, as she should. By the way, it's funny. Democrats can say the most horrific shit. We talk about this all the time. If a Republican went after a Democrat who lost everything in the fire and were like, oh, typical, just like exploiting their grief, they would be called insensitive, evil. They'd be called every name in the book. But they're allowed to say shit like this and they just get away with it. And why? It's probably because she's a black turtle and he's a white man. Because that's why. That's why you're allowed to say whatever you want, as long as you're like a black, ugly, lesbian, Marxist, socialist, communist turtle. So over it. So over it in general today. On to the next. This is gonna be crazy. We have Kamala Harris endorsing Karen Bass. So from one unqualified dumb black woman to another unqualified dumb black lesbian woman. That's what we have here. What a great endorsement. She's like, you did amazing. We have commentator Gabe Sanchez. Spencer Pratt's mayoral run is blatant grift. Okay, so this is one of the people that was like, he's grifting. He this is all staged. And everyone's like, he's living where his house burned down. So it's not really the gotcha that you think it is. But once again, these people are fucking evil. They will tell you when you lose everything that you're a grifter and you're exploiting. And that's why we need to vote against them and never let them have power in the state ever again. So this is really interesting. Spencer says, when President Obama had Osama bin Laden killed, Americans all celebrated, but for Nithya Raman, it felt strange. So apparently this was what she said. It felt strange to be celebrating the death of a man in this way. Why would you say that? I'm confused. Where is she from? I think she's Indian. I think she came here from India. I don't know if she's Muslim. I didn't know she was like a terrorist sympathizer, but a little bit of a weird comment for a woman to say. I don't know. I talked to a lot of people and a lot of extremists. Not a lot of people were bummed when Osama bin Laden was killed. So that makes her the only one I know thus far. But yeah, she should definitely run Los Angeles. This is Spencer Pratt saying Karen Bass volunteered.
You know, you're known as a reality TV star. Do you think that that is, in your campaign for Los Angeles mayor to run the biggest city in California, is that a label that you embrace? Is that hurtful to your campaign, or does it help, you think?
I mean, the reality, pun intended, is that was from 20 years ago. And if we look at what Karen Bass was doing 20 years ago, she was in Cuba learning how to make bombs with the people that would then go bomb Capitol Hill. So if we're looking at backgrounds, I'm pretty proud of what I was doing at 20 on reality television, even though it was, I may not have been the most likable character. It was still TV versus trying to destroy America and going to Cuba 20 times and praising Fidel Castro. So against my opponent, my background's pretty strong.
That's so crazy. He's really good. You guys got to realize, like, it's not like he's had time to have, like, PR training. He's not a politician. He's doing a fantastic job. And he's not avoiding answers. He's very honest about himself, his past, everything going on with his family, like, finances, everything. Whereas, like, these people are politicians. They'll never answer anything. But I'm like, that's kind of crazy He's clapping back, and he's doing a very good job. We have another clip of him.
Kamala Harris loves Karen Bass because of Karen Bass letting the Pacific Palisades and Malibu burn down. Kamala Harris was able to get a $2 million discount on her new house in Malibu that if Karen Bass hadn't let burn most of Malibu and most of Palisades to the ground, she would have never been able to get that $2 million discount. So it really does not matter who endorses Bass.
So we actually did cover that. I don't know if you guys remember. It's in one of the later episodes, but we actually did cover that she went and purchased property, a home in Malibu, which is obviously greatly discounted right now because you're surrounded by fire. So that's nice. That's nice that she was able to benefit off of everyone's suffering. We have a video of what people want from their next mayor in Los Angeles.
We went across the city to ask voters one question. What is the most important thing the next mayor has to do?
Oh, shit. Address the homeless problem? The homeless issue.
Homeless? Homelessness.
Homeless? The homeless?
Homeless.
The homeless.
Homelessness.
The homelessness.
The homeless crisis.
Help with the homeless.
Homeless support.
Homelessness. Am I saying it right? Homeless. Homeless people.
homeless issue.
And obviously homelessness.
Like, do you encounter this on like a day-to-day basis, or do you see it?
Yes, all the time. Anybody here.
It's all over, really.
I don't think there's an easy answer, but it's definitely something that we've got to try to get a grip on.
I have young kids. We really like to explore this city, so I want to show my kids a city that I grew up in, that I love and adore. Want the next mayor to be able...
I want to point out that none of those people look like Republicans. Like, none of them. They all look like hipsters. They don't look like crazy bougie people. But every single one said the homelessness, which is interesting because she was just saying how homeless is down 54%. Everyone's saying, like, no, Gavin Newsom's doing well. Karen Bass is doing well. She apparently did well in her district. And I'm like, no, it seems like the one thing people cannot handle any longer in Los Angeles is the homeless. It's everywhere. It's in Beverly Hills. So we'll see. We have alleged Palisades arsonist. Oh, yeah. So the arsonist in Palisades was fixated with Luigi Mangione and started the blaze out of resentment of the rich. So you have Luigi who, to solve healthcare being cheaper in America, you go and shoot someone who has a family. And then obviously you become a martyr for the left. They all love you because of it. And then this guy, you went and just like, by the way, you had innocent people burned to death, innocent animals. Hey, liberal arsonists. Let's talk about all the animals that were starved, lost everything, lost their homes, burned to death and died. So he did it because resentment of the rich. I mean, we don't hate these people enough. It's a whole nother episode. We'll get there next week. All right, guys. So we are looking at the Kalshi prediction market. Kalshi's saying California governor winner. Xavier, 46%. Guy is a complete idiot, total flops. Tom Steyer, he's the billionaire, right? 38%. Steve Hilton, hey, we got him up there. It's saying 9.8%. I think Steve Hilton is doing the best job across the board. I think his odds are way higher than that. First of all, he's a Republican, so he's going against the machine. But look, he's in the top 3. He is polling. I think he's doing way better than that. He has been crushing the debates. He's been doing such a good job. He is truly calling these people out on the corruption, the fact that they blame Trump and Republicans for everything, when in fact it is them. So he's doing a great job. I just need to see his odds going up a lot higher than this, because no one likes Xavier. I'm shocked that he's leading in this. At least Tom's like the socialist billionaire, except for he's kind of cool because apparently he was actually giving Trump like money to build like ICE detention centers back in the day or something. But in general, California governor winner, who do we want? We want Steve Hilton, guys. We need to vote for Steve Hilton. We want Steve Hilton. Chad has done a great job as well. I just think Steve is doing an amazing job representing California. And everyone's like, oh, well, he's like an immigrant. Yeah, well, he's not here illegally, so shut the up. And then we have Kalshi betting market for Los Angeles mayor winner. God, there's a lot of people on these lists. Nithya is the top poller. Then we have Karen Bass and we have Spencer Pratt. And obviously we want Spencer Pratt to win because without it's Nithya. So everything's going to get worse. I don't know. I don't understand. The weird thing with Spencer Pratt is people are like, he doesn't have the background. And I'm like, okay, so I think we've learned through every career politician that the background is not that important. Doesn't really matter, because actually the longer you've been in politics now, the less I trust you. And it's like, oh, he's a reality TV star. Okay, well, so is Donald Trump, and he was actually very accomplished and a great businessman, and he's done amazing things. So yeah, I'd rather go with the outsider. And also, he's not running as a Republican. Everyone keeps doing a smear campaign that he's Republican. I'm like, he's not running as a Republican. I don't even know if he's running as a Democrat. He might be independent, or he might just not talk about it at all, but I don't think he's a registered Republican. It's the only thing they're using against him, because it's like a smear campaign. We have actress Sarah Paulson. So in case you guys didn't know, the Met Gala was last night. Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. That's where all the people who are pedophiles, torture children, eat children, go and they spend millions and millions of dollars. They're decked out in diamonds so they can tell you at home how you're a piece of shit for being poor, being a Republican. They just tell you how you're evil and you should do better. They got the Gaza pins, the feminism pins, the trans pins, whatever pins they have going on. But yeah, they go and spend all this money and just tell you like at home, like, you know, you suck. So anyways, we're just going to go enjoy the night. And here's one of the actresses, Sarah Paulson. They're all political statements. Like, what the does that mean? Like, genuinely, to a normal person at home, what is that? What was the political statement of this? You're wearing diamonds in a designer gown, and then you strapped a dollar bill to your eyes. If anything, it's kind of giving it, hey, you if you're poor, I can't even see you. I can't see you because I have money in front of my face. I'm sure it was meant to do the opposite. It was probably talking about, I don't know, how white people are wealthy and evil or something. So she was one of the retards making a political statement. This was also there. I'm going to hell. This is a Black, disabled, transgender, immigrant, model. And she's gone very viral. We've ran out of firsts. There's no more. She's Black, she's disabled, she's transgender, she's an immigrant, and there's nothing left. We have nothing. If there's a Olympics for being woke, progressive, she just checked every single box. I don't know how she could check any more boxes or if there are any more boxes available. But yeah, that's it. There's nothing else after her. So she was there being celebrated for being whatever this is. I remember years ago, I was shopping online at Urban Outfitters and she was modeling the underwear. And I texted my friend who's a model and I said, where are we going from here? She's disabled. She's sitting in a chair. So how am I supposed to see the underwear front and back when she's disabled sitting in a chair? Just wondering. I was like, hey, you're exploiting people with disabilities. That's what it is. Liberals are exploiting people with disabilities to make themselves be like, look how progressive we are. Okay, great. Like, because of you guys, she was able to like make a little bit of money. And then she goes and like lectures us about how we're like, she's great and we all suck. And I'm like, it's a bit too much. We have a video of the trans model.
When I first started working, I was an anomaly to the industry. Arguably, in many ways today, really I still am. I think it's time to say the quiet part out loud. The fashion industry is unlikely to book or pay Black trans feminine and or physically disabled models to do runway, editorial, and or campaign because of an absence of whiteness.
Okay. What's so crazy? Before I even watched that, I just knew somehow she hated white people and was going to blame us. And I'm like, how the is it our fault that first of all, thank God you're in America. Okay, actually, no. First of all, thank God you are in America, period. Because guess what? The other countries would have thrown you off of a cliff, okay? Immediately. The second disabled, yeah, they're not raising you to be like, you can do whatever you want. But only in America, you could have all those things going on with you, you'll say, and then be able to be a fashion model and then model thing, which like you're not qualified for, okay? Because like you're just not qualified across the board. I'm not getting into why. It's ridiculous. We know why. We don't have to pretend to be politically correct and great people on the show. But then to achieve that where you could only achieve it here, because other countries would deem you lesser in society and you'd be treated as so. But here we get the, Olympics of whoever's like the most disabled and transgender. And then the first thing you do is go shit on white people when it's like that you do realize it's white guilt, which is why you are able to achieve that in the first place. And then you're going to blame the whiteness. All right, well, good thing you weren't born in China like that. Good thing you're not in Africa like that. But yeah, so you can use all this to then shit on us. I'm like, well, aren't we the one booking and paying for everything? Aren't we the one bringing you to the Met Gala? But this is why I'm like, why are we helping these people? They kind of suck. You would think if you had all of that against you, you'd be like a nice person and do something great with it. Nope. She's like, I'm all these things and I'm just going to shit on white people. So here we are. We have Call Her Daddy on settling.
You told Howard Stern that commitment felt like admitting defeat or settling.
No, I don't feel that way anymore. Innately, it is settling. You do not know that the person you are with is the best person for you. There's too many people on this planet. You haven't met any of them. You never will. So you have to settle. There could be someone better for you. And statistically, there probably is. Luckily, people end up in like the top 10% of people who are most compatible for them in the planet. And that's like a win. But there's other people that would be good for you. And I don't believe in soulmates. And I do believe you have to go like, you know what? This is the best I can do right now. And I'm going to just cash in my chips because I probably could do better, but who knows?
How does Chris feel about that?
He totally understands it. There's someone better for him too.
How does your boyfriend feel about that?
His life?
No. I mean, I'm a love of his life. I just think that he has many loves of his life.
Oh God, that's enough. Can someone tell Nikki Glacier just shut the fuck up? She needs to not go and first she's saying how she loves that her boyfriend cheats on her. They have like an open relationship or some bullshit. Now she's like, I don't really believe in soulmates. Blah, blah. Okay, you know what I don't understand? If you guys you got it all figured out, you don't believe in any of these things, then why do you participate? Why do you participate in these traditional things that are so beautiful, but then you shit all over it and you claim you don't believe in it? Okay, so don't be in a relationship since you're settling. Must be so nice to be her boyfriend. It's probably why he cheats on you. To be like, oh yeah, she goes on one of the biggest podcasts to talk about how she settled with me and there's a million other better options. Then I'm like, then just don't participate. Just go be polyamorous, go be disgusting, take your SSRIs and don't get married and have kids and just go on with your shitty comedy tour. I mean, doesn't she host shit like, the pedophile Met Gala and stuff like that? But I'm like, it's so crazy to go against these things when it's like they're the reason you're here as well. I don't know. Anytime I see liberals giving their like little rants online about like how they're never getting married or having kids and they don't believe in traditional values, I'm like, how do you think you got here, you fucking dipshit? It's like, yeah, two people meet, they get married, they fall in love, and they have a kid. I know they probably don't have fathers, but that's a different story. We have more from the disability activists. That's a really funny term. Oh, God. Nope, this is just a little person at the Met Gala. Well, Jesus. Good for her. You know what I mean? She was really whipping that thing. And who the fuck is she? I don't recognize anyone at the Met Gala except for like Sabrina Carpenter and like Jay-Z and Beyonce, which apparently after being in the Epstein files as much as they were and being like known predators and abusers, everyone's at the Met Gala celebrating them. And I'm like, good for them. You know what? Anyone can go to the Met Gala, so that's cool. We have gun violence is killing. This is at the Met Gala, I believe, too. Yeah. Oh, God, I hate these people so much. Gun violence is killing your kids? No, trans people on SSRIs that are shooting up schools are actually statistically killing your kids, but that's not a conversation you guys are there for. I should have showed up next to her with the same exact outfit that said trans people won't stop shooting children. But, can't have that at the Met Gala. Why? So this whole political thing, you guys, I don't understand. Liberal people hate celebrities and they hate rich people, but then they eat this shit up. They sit there and they love the outfits and blah, blah. If you actually believed in these things, wouldn't you not even attend these events? But that's the thing. The second you're invited in the club, all of a sudden you can't say no. We have Kamala Harris, the saxophone player, falling asleep while that dumb bitch talks. I would too.
I don't think so, because if you thought nobody's rallies were a thing, people would take to the streets if they tried to cancel. No, they have that has been in place for decades.
Oh,
this very moment.
That's good. Which is finally some good news on the show. He was just like, also, I hate her black scent when she's talking. She's like, there's probably like a couple black people in the room. She's like, all right, time to turn it up. She's like, when you just get home with your mom and do that. It's like, why is it in order to represent the black community, you talk like you're mentally That's just it's so funny to talk down to your own little community is so weird. White people just don't do that. We speak normally and we speak the same all the time, but she does it. And I'm like, we used to review her when she was going on her tour and she had the Jamaican accent. One day she was Irish and I'm just like, is this not insulting to you guys? But it's good to see someone who actually is just honest and doesn't give a shit. Sleeping is a better better for him anyways than listening to her. Anyways, good news. Good news, you guys. I think this is the best news. I know, because everything's so sad and depressing. I'm like, well, have you gone outside? RFK Jr. and HHS have announced a program focused on helping people safely taper off SSRIs. Often people are unaware of the dangers, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm so against doctors in general and just everything that they prescribe people. This is why everyone's like, oh, everyone's depressed and they have self-diagnosed illnesses and all this stuff. Okay. Antidepressants, SSRIs, which are how people kill themselves and kill other people. Okay. People don't realize like tapering off these is very gnarly and it can be very dangerous. If there is this is so amazing and such, I hopefully soon to be a just straight up accomplishment, because this is killing people. It actually is. People don't need these things. They're very dangerous to themselves and to others. They're not helping them. And if we can get people off these safely as soon as possible, or even give them the option, that is amazing. This is I think the best thing that's came out during health-wise this entire presidency. And I mean, no offense, liberals are hating. I'm like, hey, you're the psychos that need this. You guys are the ones eating pills every day and have self-diagnosed illnesses and depression and all these things. The side effects of those are gnarly. And even Kamala Harris's creepy little trans-looking stepdaughter made a video on how she had bad reactions and need to come off them. A lot of people are starting to share their stories, and there's some serious injuries about getting off these things. So this is the positive story for the week. Anyways, we'll be back soon, guys. And thank you so much for all the kind comments you leave when I do the show with Priya. You guys love to say how amazing she is, how beautiful she looks, and there's never anything nice about me. So, you guys. We'll be back next week.